down, sit you hallelujah. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on.
Illuminative Award goes for articulate video with emphasis on good tutorial. And this goes to Kennedy. Kennedy.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Hey guys! I'm excited because today I'm going to be talking to you guys about becoming a successful YouTuber. I was really debating whether I was going to do this video or not, just because I don't want you guys to get like the wrong impression of me making this video. I am no way saying like I'm this big YouTube star and I know everything that I'm talking about. I'm just doing this because I know you guys always ask me questions about the equipment I use and the editing software. There's so many like questions that you guys want to know. It's really hard to reply to some of the same comments over and over again, so I felt like making a video about it would just make it 10 times easier. And also I feel like I've been on YouTube long enough to share with you guys some of the experiences that I've experienced. Did that make any sense? Some of the things that I have experienced on YouTube. Oh yeah, I've been talking this whole video like I did not just go blonde. Basically, my hair is blonde now, but my roots are still black. I didn't want to go that drastic, but I will be doing a exclusive video just about the hair extensions, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. Okay, so back to the video. So I have my phone because last night while I was sitting in my bed, I was trying to get together like all the different topics that I want to talk about to you guys so I don't miss anything whatsoever. So let's just get started. Getting paid. I get questions all the time about how I make my money and sponsorships and just things like that. Under my contract, I can't like tell you guys how much money I make. And honestly, there's not really like a set amount of how much you get paid on YouTube. It all depends on the number of views that you get on your videos. So one month you get paid can be totally different than the next month that you get paid. It all depends on how many videos you post, how many views you get on those videos, and just things like that. But every now and then I do like to make some extra money doing some different sponsorships for different companies. And speaking of sponsored, yes, this video is sponsored. I always like to tell you guys when I'm doing a sponsored video. I feel like my subscribers deserve to know when I'm doing a sponsored video. So a lot of the sponsorships that I do are for Grapevine. I decided to work with this company because they first reached out to me. Just their approach towards me when they emailed me was very sweet and very kind. So when they first reached out to me, I checked out the website. Browsing the website really made me feel comfortable. It wasn't super hard to maneuver around. Basically, you're just browsing the different sponsorships and it tells you how much money you can make off of that sponsorship. Sometimes it'll tell you how many subscribers they're looking for you to do the review for them. Sometimes it'll ask you like why you want to do a review for that certain item. Or it'll also ask you like what kind of video do you plan on making with the item that they're going to send you. And then after that, they'll tell you whether or not you were approved to do the review for them. It's really simple, and I feel like that's what got me to really join the network because it was so easy to maneuver around the website. Overall, my experience with them has been absolutely amazing. Whenever I have questions, they email me back within 24 hours. And also whenever you do a sponsorship for them, you get your money immediately after you post the video. There's no contracts you have to sign or anything like that. They do have minimums like on your subscriber base and things like that. So they do make sure that they review your page carefully to make sure that you're uploading frequently, especially for starters. So it's super easy to sign up. I will have the link right here if you guys want to check them out. I will also have the link in the description box down below. And yeah, so those are basically some different ways that I make my money off of YouTube. Equipment. So I get questions all the time about the camera that I use in the editing software. The camera that I use in my videos is the Canon T3i. A lot of people get this camera thinking that you're going to have this awesome, amazing quality. But honestly, it's all about the camera lens that you get with the camera. I use two different lenses. I have one Sigma lens and one Canon lens. I don't want to say the wrong names, so I'll put both of them right here. The Sigma lens, a lot of beauty gurus have. Basically, what I ended up doing was I just bought the Canon T3i without the lens that comes with it. And then I just bought the Sigma lens. You save so much more money that way because you're only buying the Canon body part. I think it's like almost $200 cheaper from getting the lens that comes with the Canon, so keep that in mind. I really love the Sigma lens because it gives like that blurry background and it looks really professional. I also film with a tripod, obviously. Basically any tripod that you find could be fine. The one that I use is the, sorry, I'm like looking at my tripod literally. I use the Sunpack Ultra 6000 PG tripod. So the editing software on the other hand that I use is Final Cut Pro. I've only been using Final Cut Pro for about 3 or 4 months now. I used iMovie for the longest time. I finally decided to switch over to Final Cut Pro. After the Next Face Awards and like talking to some of the other contestants while we were in LA, I felt like it was only right to get Final Cut Pro, and I promise you it was probably the best decision I ever made. There's so much more things you can do in Final Cut Pro than iMovie. Obviously if you have a Windows computer then you can't get Final Cut Pro. I believe there's like Windows Movie Maker that you can get on Windows. Windows Movie Maker basically compares to iMovie the same. I do remember when I had a Windows computer, I used Sony Vegas Pro, and Sony Vegas basically compares to Final Cut Pro's networks. So I am partnered with Style Hall, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Basically Style Hall is a partnership where you're signed with them and they're supposed to like help you gain subscribers and get your name out there. And while they're doing all that, trying to grow your fan base and grow your subscribers and things like that, they're also getting a percentage of what you make. So becoming partnered with a network is a super serious thing, and you need to take it really serious because once you're partnered with them, you're most likely signed to a contract, and most likely that contract is probably 2 years or longer. So you really need to make sure that you review the contract carefully before you sign it. From experience, I was first partnered with this company. I'm not going to say their name, but then Style Hall reached out to me. It was super hard to get out of that contract and then partner with Style Hall. I know there's a lot of different companies that are coming up trying to get people to partner with them, and it's a little sketchy. And one of the best things you can do if a network, I keep saying company, if a network reaches out to you, go on YouTube and look up some different videos on other people's experiences with that network and see how that worked out for them, and then decide if you want to kind of join. I can probably say this 1,000 times. Really make sure you're positive about joining that company before you do it. Consistency. So this is probably one of the #1 things that I struggle with the most on YouTube is consistency and uploading videos. This is super hard to do because if you're in school like me, it's really hard to post videos frequently during the week, especially if you do other activities outside of school, which I cheer, plus trying to do YouTube videos. That's a lot for me. If you're new on YouTube and you're really trying to like grow your fan base, you really want to make sure that you upload frequently. The more videos you post, the more people are going to watch them. And if you're posting like once a month, obviously people aren't going to see that in their news feed often, so you want to make sure that you upload often, especially if you're a starter. So another way that you can kind of grow your fan base and create a successful YouTube channel, you want to try to make friends on YouTube. This can be really hard to do if you're new. The best way to go about making friends on YouTube is kind of find someone that has the same amount of subscribers or views as you do. The best way to do that is through Instagram or Twitter. You can DM them or add them on Twitter. You can say something like, hey, I make videos too. I was wondering if we could be friends, if you could talk more, something like that. And I know it can be kind of sketchy at first because you're talking to people online that you've never seen before. I promise you after a while it's not that bad. Like some of my best friends are people from YouTube. Along with doing sponsored videos, I wanted to talk about doing brand deals. Being a YouTuber, you get a ton of emails on people asking you to do reviews for their company, and I have to admit I am super guilty of this. Just because you get an email from a company saying they're going to send you something for free, it's not always a good deal to just say, hey, yeah, send me the item, it's for free. Because if you don't look into the item good enough, the item can be crap and then they send it to you and you're kind of stuck and you have to make the video, or you have to waste more time emailing them back and telling them, hey, your product sucked, I'm not going to do the review. For one, it kind of hurts sending a company an email like that after they sent you something for free, but at the same time they could be using you by sending you trash and you're posting it on YouTube, getting them all these people to go buy the item for them when they only sent you one thing for free. You kind of have to weigh out the different possibilities of doing brand deals. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about is interacting with your subscribers and your viewers. Basically what I mean to that, replying to your followers on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Like honestly, your viewers aren't going to want to comment on your videos and stuff if you're not going to reply to them. I try my hardest to reply to a lot of the comments that I get on my YouTube and my Instagram and my Twitter. That's a lot of different social platforms, but it's really all worth it. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, this isn't as important, but I feel like a lot of you asked me about it, so I wanted to talk about it anyway, and that is music. As you guys probably know, if you're already posting videos on YouTube, YouTube is super strict about posting copywritten music. Like girl, they will copyright your video in a second. So it's really important that you don't use copywritten music. I feel like you can get your YouTube account deleted if you do it so many times. I basically like mash up my music. I'll do like 10 seconds of one song and then 10 seconds of another song, and then I'll put those two together. When I'm doing voiceovers, it doesn't matter as much because you're talking over top of the music, so usually it doesn't show up copywritten. Those are just some of the things that I've picked up off of YouTube. I really hope you guys got something from this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share this on all of your social networks. Leave me some comments down below if you guys have any more questions for me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys! Mwah.